Hello, I'm Dr. Kirby Thompson, licensed naturopathic doctor, owner and operator of Wildflower Wellness, here today with you for Dr. Kirby's Pick, October 2023. Now, what our focus is this month is functional testing. I love these tests. They are wonderful. These are very relevant to you. And it shows you really what's going on in your body. Now, functional testing is different from blood work. If you come in for a naturopathic visit, we can get blood work on you. We can take your blood work if you've had it recently. And what we actually have software for is to create a functional blood analysis. And it lets you know your risk factors based on your values. Because we all know that there is an optimal range and a standard range. And that standard range is the lab range. But that has to do with blood work. That's different. What these are functional tests. They actually show how your body is functioning. They do this by testing certain metabolites, doing cultures, and actually placing your white blood cells into different cultures, testing their responses in order to assess the nutrient balance in those cells. And there are many companies that do that, and we do offer those as a service for our people. Now, one of the things about functional testing, especially if you're out for wellness, right, is that now if you're having problems, we definitely need to get to the root of why that's happening. That can be a big cost to quite a few people, but it is going to, my mother would say, behoove you to take these into consideration and don't just cut them out because of the cost. They are very valuable pieces of information and can help. So what we did this month and what we're going to continue to do, I think we have the genetics left, is what we're going to do is we're focusing on just a little bit of information about some of these tests that we use very often. One of those is food allergy testing, food sensitivity testing. Now this can either be done through blood draw or blood spot. Food allergy and food sensitivity testing. This is so very important. Now, if you're testing for food sensitivities, these can change as you get better. So you don't just do it one time and you're like, well, I did that 10 years ago. If you're doing the food sensitivity testing, it is so important to make sure that you do a recheck to see if things are cleared out or back or different. And so if you don't clear up your gut and your immune system, remember that immune system can keep that going. You have to address the immune system, then those are all you're going to do is start reacting to the foods that you're eating now. And so we have to make sure that as you go that those are addressed. Another one that I really like is micronutrient testing. Now, the micronutrients testing that it's offered, it does assess white blood cells and what you need in order to make sure that your cells are functioning properly. CoQ10, B vitamins. Do you have excesses or deficiencies or another underlying issue? So that is very good for actually quite a few people. But remember, I wouldn't just do it one time. I would do it again and again, not every year, maybe every few years, but it's very good test if you're trying to assess how well your immune system is responding and what it needs in order to do that. And that can be very helpful in many arenas, especially with today's health climate and what's going on with different diseases, right? And, if you read the literature, it talks about, this can even, prevent certain growths or conditions that are headed in a certain direction. And really, that's how that is with all that functional testing. The stool panel also is one of my favorites. It will assess microbial overload, virus, bacteria, fungus, parasites. Everybody asks about parasites. So, get that checked out. But it also shows different chemicals, biochemicals, that are normal in the human body and can be associated with an inflammatory process. And will also show you balances of enzymes as well as fatty acids in the gut, because you need some of those. Short chain fatty acids are very helpful in repairing that intestinal lining. And from what I gather, both in the literature and talking to people, that gut is a constant. You have to take constant care of that. That's very important. Another one that I really like is the Dutch test, the Complete. So the Dutch test Complete, it uses your urine metabolites, which are biochemicals. They're biochemicals that are produced in the process of metabolizing or using your own hormones. And so what that does is it allows us to see where the blocks and the stops are and how we can use different nutrients, herbs, and supplements to help shunt your body in that direction. It is quite helpful. And it can also give you, it has a little mini oat test in it, so it can give you kind of a basic idea about neurotransmitters, gut health, bacteria, as well as how well your body's methylating those hormones. And if you are producing more estrogens, that can cause damage, which is a very big concern for a lot of females. And so that's a biggie, and I do love that test, that assessment. Another test that we often do is a hair analysis. And a hair analysis, the one that we use, actually gives you a little booklet. And based on your deficiencies and or excesses, what you're trying to get rid of, the booklet will kind of, based on the ratios, let you know where you are with your nutrients, as well as heavy metals in the hair. And also, it gives you a little diet dietary suggestions to that will help address those minerals. So I really like that one and have seen some pretty good results with people that do that. And it's probably the most cost-effective one that I've seen. Another one that we often do is the mycotoxin. There are a couple. We do the real time. We suggest that it is the premier. Everybody does it. If you're having a fungal issue, a mold problem, things like that, you think you have an environmental issue, that's a really good one, and it's done through the urine, very non-invasive, and it can be quite helpful in assessing your environments. The thing is, you got to figure out which environment you're in, that is contributing to that. And so there are also some tests that you can get for your environment that can help determine where you're becoming overloaded with those toxins. Genetic assessment. A lot of people come in and talk to me about MTHFR. Well, there are a lot more enzymatic pathways than just MTHFR, although it is a very important one. So that needs to be addressed. However, there are assessments that we use in order to see where you are in these genetic patterns, and can also use this information in the software to see what nutrients will be helpful for those pathways. So if you are looking for any of these type of things, it came to my attention that people didn't know we offered these types of things, and we do. Some of the issue can be is that no matter what type of testing, assessment, or anything you do, it's just going to take time and consistency. You have to be persistent and consistent in healthy choices. Now, if you go to your brother's for the weekend and there's a birthday party and you have some cake, for a lot of people, that's not going to be a big issue. Some people it will be, especially if their immune system is very reactive their vital force is low, and they're in the chronic state of illness. So that can be a big thing. But for a lot of people, that's not. What you have to do is make good choices and get some assessments on your body to see where you are. And you want to do that throughout your lifetime for wellness. Pick a test. I feel that the micronutrient testing is a great idea for people who think they are well. I love air quotes. And then, if you're having gut problems, gut test, and the food sensitivities. Food sensitivity assessment is actually a great idea for everyone, because when you eat things that your immune system is reacting to, you're going to create toxin in the gut, immunotoxin. You're going to create acute phase proteins. Your body's going to start this search and destroy, and really all you've done is eat food. In fact, a good, really wonderful best friend of mine, when she eats a food she's sensitive to, she gets high blood pressure and in episodes. So for me, when I eat a certain food that I've been sensitive to, a lot of times I'll feel depressed. So it's not just a reaction in the skin or a gut problem that you feel. A lot of times it can be psycho-emotional. It can be just fatigue. It can be a lot of things. So those are two assessments, micronutrient testing and the food sensitivity assessment, that can be very helpful for practically anyone, quite a few people, and if you're going for wellness. So if you're having issues, or you're having issues that you've worked on that are not just quite right, what we need to do is to talk to you and decide which direction you need to go in. So if any of those are what you desire for your health, or just curious, or would like us to help you with your health, we would love to be of service. So please give us a call, 601-287-3837. Give us a like. Give us a follow on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and I believe we tweet. So Twitter us up. And we would love to see you. Please visit us online at www.wildflowerwellnessllc.com. Thank you so much.